This is Inside Mside, your favorite podcast for all things Morningside. Hear stories from students, alumni, faculty, and more about what makes the Morningside experience so special.
Hello and welcome into its latest edition of the Inside Mside podcast here on the Morningside YouTube channel, or if you're listening along on your favorite audio streaming platform, we welcome you in as well. I'm your host, Zach James, and coming up in this episode, we're going to talk about the Thriving Exercise Science program that started in the fall of 2025. Even though they're just starting, they're excited for some new projects that are coming up, and they've got a slew of students who are learning big things in that program. Here to help us talk about it is Dr. Greg Seier, Assistant Professor of Exercise Science, and Morningside Junior Macanna Guritz. She's a student in the program, and she's really excited to help us talk about this as well. Guys, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's get this started with this. Just tell me about the Exercise Science program from a 30,000-foot perspective and what's been going on lately.
Like I said, August was the first time students could declare a major in exercise science. There's about 5 classes right now that kind of make up the curriculum for more of the upperclassmen. And we've been working on curriculum for next fall for kind of the freshman or incoming freshman class next year. And then this current freshman class to kind of help them decide, do they want to go more strength and conditioning? Do they want to do athletic training? We have some physical therapy, chiropractic, and some occupational therapy students that are all interested in it.
So, Greg, what separates this program from others in the field?
Well, it's brand new is one of them.
Yeah.
So we are brand new. The other big thing is we have a great partnership with CNOS. I used to work with them back in 2006 to 2010. And so Dr. Mies is very active and wants this program to succeed. So he's heavily invested and always asks us about it. And he's opened up kind of his clinic to do some surgery rotations, some physical therapy. Sites have agreed to let our students do some internships and some shadowing with them. And then we have also professional ranks that we're going to hopefully do some stuff with the Sioux City Musketeers, Sioux City Bandits, and the Explorers to kind of see behind the scenes what kind of sports medicine do they have. So some exciting opportunities for students to come in and see some different settings ranging from elementary all the way to the professional ranks.
And you just kind of answered my next question too. How does this kind of help students prepare for career opportunities?
The big thing is networking and relationship building. We want to put students in front of as many professionals as we can to kind of see what they do, but then also network to possible graduate schools, possible other internships, possible other opportunities throughout the United States. And then we also do have a physical therapist from France that a student has kind of introduced me to. So we're kind of working with them to see worldwide what we can do, either internships within the clinics or even the Olympics.
And Macanna, just how fun is it to be a part of this exercise science program with it being so new and with there being so many opportunities to do classroom things, of course, but stuff outside the classroom too?
It's been really fun to actually have more hands-on instead of it just being more lecture. I think it allows most of us are people that want to go in an active field of choice later on in life. And so being able to have that hands-on in the classroom instead of just it being lectures all the time has helped a lot with just trying to get more hands-on experience, getting exposure for all the physical therapy, athletic training opportunities as well. So it's been really fun just to kind of be able to have all those opportunities now that we've added this program.
What drew you to being an exercise science student and what got you interested?
My freshman year, I actually did a job shadow with Katie here on campus for athletic training, and I really enjoyed it. And I could really see myself more in a hands-on field instead of just sitting in an office. And so I really was looking forward to majoring in biology just because that was what we had at the time my freshman year. But then this last year, there was talk about adding a new exercise science program, and I knew that was something that would be more geared towards what I was interested in, athletic training, physical therapy type world. So when I saw that we were adding kinesiology and more classes that are dealing with like hands-on medical type stuff, I knew that was something that I really wanted to take advantage of. And going into my junior year, I knew it might have been a little bit of a stretch, like being able to complete it fully. But Greg has been really good to work with and like trying to get all the classes in before graduation next year.
Greg, what's it like seeing a student like Macanna and all the other students dive headfirst the way that they have?
It's been very impressive. Last semester, we had motor development and an intro course. And without really any background in exercise science, the students did phenomenal on 2 or 3 projects that were, I'd rate right up there with kind of those in a traditional program where they've started as a first-year student. And so it's been very impressive, very encouraging, inspiring to kind of throw stuff at students and they come out on top. And it's some of the work they've done has just been so impressive. This semester, we'll do some stuff with the Palmer Symposium. And so we're starting to roll with some research projects. We're starting to get topics kind of set up and some all the IRB process, but I'm really looking forward to that to see what kind of posters they present. It's going to be very basic 6-week projects, but I'm very interested to see how those turn out and what they look like and what the students come up with.
Talk to me a little bit more about this Palmer Symposium. I mean, you can both talk about it. Well, what's this semester looking like in terms of that?
Okay. So the assessments class, fitness assessment, it's all about collecting data, collecting assessments on fitness topics. So right now we're doing kind of cardiorespiratory. So how in shape are students, how in shape are individuals. And so this is just a spin-off of a 6-week project where they'll do with a partner. We have groups of 2, we have groups of 3, and they come up with a topic. They have to do a pre-test week 1. They'll do the same test as a post-test week 6, and they do some type of project over the 4 weeks. So flexibility is kind of the first 2 that came up. And so we'll do a flexibility pre-test. Then the students come up with a program within their sports with their subjects, and then they do a post-test, and then they create a poster from their results.
Having like being able to like talk about your research like in Palmer is like a great opportunity to get into grad school. A lot of people don't always do that. So that's sometimes what grad people would ask about is how much research you've done and how exposed you are to like talking about your research. And so being able to do that this year and probably next year as well is going to help with getting into grad school. And I think it'll be really cool to kind of, I'm doing softball and baseball and comparing the 2 and hamstring flexibility. And so I think it'll be really cool to kind of see a sport that I'm involved in and how you can kind of make it better with a program that I put together and kind of basing it off of that.
As an athlete, how interesting is it to see the scientific side of sports as a student athlete?
Yeah, it's been really cool. Like I've been learning new things probably every single day. Like last year we talked a lot about like warming up and like stretching and type stuff. I think it's just something that I'll be able to take throughout these next 2 years and maybe being able to help like my teammates and stuff along the way with this program. Maybe they'll be able to implement that in maybe their everyday lives to help with the hamstring flexibility as well.
And you just answered my next question. The things that you learn, do you go back and tell your teammates about, hey, here's what I learned, here's how you can get better from the research I've gained?
Yeah, I'm hoping that I'll be able to, especially when I present it at Palmer, there's going to be lots of athletes that will probably be involved in that type of coming in and listening to different types of projects that people have done. So I'm hoping that it can get spread throughout all the athletes here on campus, not just my teammates, but I know a lot of different people in our class are going to do lots of different types of flexibility. And I think they're doing like importance of warming up and stuff like that. And so hopefully when some athletes come in, they can gain all that knowledge and be able to spread it across the whole campus.
Greg, I've noticed that when I go into the M Club for coffees and cookie, or when I film like the get to know you videos on social media, on the social media side. By the way, go look at that on Mside Mustangs on the Facebook and Instagram pages, if you would. I see a lot of equipment in there. What's that like to use the M Club room as a classroom and have that space for interactive, to be more interactive?
Yep. Athletics has been great. Jim Sykes is who I kind of went to propose the idea of, can we use this temporarily kind of to just get us through the year, space to go, space to kind of carve out where we can put. This year we got an Araxin motion analysis system, so we can put sensors on athletes and we can test, or we can monitor any motion that they do. So we did some running stuff last semester. We did some dynamic warm-ups, some dynamic skips, and hopefully this year in biomechanics we can expand on that. But it's nice in the M Club room because we have a place to store it, but then we also have a huge space that we can go out and do different things in, do different things on. Moving forward, they're working on a kind of a dedicated lab space for exercise science because we have more stuff coming in next year. We have some high-speed treadmills that are coming in. They'll go 17 miles an hour, so we can do some speed stuff. We can do some more testing stuff. We have specialized bikes that are coming in that we can do some more testing with power and max VO2s. We have a power platform, we have a biodex, and we have underwater weighing all coming in next year that we can start using. And so this year we're kind of scratching the surface of kind of what we can do. And then next year will kind of be a full-blown, here's everything we got.
What do you think it'll be like when everything is full-blown, full equipment? What do you feel like what that's going to be like going into next year?
It'll be really cool. It'll be a wow factor. Kind of how we're going to set the room up when you walk in. Power platform is a lifting platform that'll have the Mustang head on it. We'll be able to do Olympic lifts on it. We'll be able to do Olympic testing on it. So not only will they be doing weightlifting stuff, but we can measure force, we can measure movement, we can measure all different kinds of things. But that setup, it'll also have a squat rack, it'll have a bench press. That'll kind of be the centerpiece, and that's really impressive when you have it all set up and the first thing you see when you walk in the room. Biodex, I would say there might only be one other one in Sioux City, maybe. And so we'll have one on campus, and we've talked to CNOS already about doing some testing for them. So it's ideally used for ACLs. So students, athletes coming back from ACL tears, we can do a biodex test on them and tell them kind of where they're at, comparison side to side. And so they're very interested in seeing that and wanting to be a part of that. And it'll be really cool. We'll have monitors set up, and we'll have a nice wow factor that when you walk in, it'll be impressive.
So with all the testing and all the equipment that might be coming in and the equipment that you've been testing with already, do you feel like you've become a better athlete and maybe even a smarter athlete with all the knowledge that you've gained so far this year?
I would definitely say I've gained like a lot of knowledge. Typically athletes don't really like the warm-ups and stuff like that. Like they just think that's like unnecessary. But after we've talked about it, like there's so many more risks of injuries when you don't do these warm-ups. So now I think I take the warm-ups more for granted, especially as I get older going into my senior year, not as agile as I was my freshman year, I would say. And so I do think just these classes itself has helped me understand more of the basics that my coach might be honing in on me that I don't necessarily understand right at the beginning coming in freshman year. But being able to learn about that, I definitely do think that it's helped me become a smarter athlete when kind of talking about recovery and injury and type of stuff.
We're only 6-7 months into this, but that is kind of the goal down the road, is to not only educate the athletes but educate the coaches about recovery and do things smarter, do things more efficiently, and there's some things we're going to be able to do, produce data that kind of shows, hey, you guys have had 2 really hard weeks and everybody's just beat, you need to lighten up a little bit so we can recover. And then that'll all be coming down the road over the next semester, couple semesters.
Could you re-answer that question, please?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think that it has really helped me gain knowledge as an athlete for sure. We never used to think as athletes that warming up was that important and stuff. And so being able to kind of just learn about the dynamics and how that can really help with injury prevention. I really think that I've been able to take that into my sports and being able just to understand that to keep up with injury prevention and flexibility and stuff, the warm-up stuff is probably something that is probably pretty important. And so being able to understand why my coach really wants to kind of have those stuff honed in and understanding the little things. Like that's probably one of the little things that most athletes don't really tend to think about. And so I think it's helped me kind of gain knowledge within my sport for sure.
And to your point, Greg, you mentioned the coaches. How receptive have the coaches been with this program?
Oh, very receptive. They all know who I am, and I'm seeing lots of their athletes as prospective students. They're very supportive. Baseball, I've talked to them a little bit about getting a pitching mound, doing some force plate stuff and a pitching mound, so cutting out spots where the force plates could go. But yeah, they've all been super supportive. They've been very flexible. They've reached out what they can do, what they can help me with. And then kind of on the flip side too, I've met with Cindy Welp a couple times in HR about doing some faculty staff kind of campus-wide stuff where we can kind of educate the whole campus on different wellness activities, different things that we can do to kind of promote a healthy lifestyle.
For more on the exercise science program, go check out morningside.edu. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yep. Thank you very much. This was fun.
That'll do it for this edition of Inside Mside. Make sure to like and subscribe us on YouTube or your favorite audio platform. And make sure to follow along throughout the rest of the semester as we'll have more episodes for you here in the spring. For the university engagement staff and everyone else here at Morningside University, I'm Zach James. Thank you so much for watching and listening to this edition of the Inside Mside podcast. We'll talk to you next time.